YouTube, how are you now? So BattleBit Remastered just released update 2.1.3 as of September 12th. So made a lot of changes here, a lot of good stuff. Not going to go over all the details. If you want to check out the full patch notes, I'll leave the link in the description, but some visual improvements, that kind of stuff. We're just going to go over the weapon adjustments and the time to kill charts because there were quite a few weapon adjustments. Doesn't really change too much except it makes like the pistols more viable. And then the SMGs not as good, and then L86A1 not as good either. So we're just going to go through each line by line, covering the damage increases and all that, and how it affects the TTK chart. So the M9 pistol was damage increased from 30 to 32, recoil was increased, fire rate increased from 400 to 600, velocity increased, sound spread lowered, draw speed increased, magazine size increased by 1. So check out the new time to kill charts. So the pistols were pretty bad to start off with before they made these changes, so they made them a lot better. Increased damage, increased fire rate, so they're pretty competitive now with a lot of the other guns. Still not the best, but at least in a pinch they're going to be usable again. So shakes up quite a bit here because these were pretty bad. The M9 was pretty bad, the USP was pretty bad too. The MP443 was the only decent one that was single fire, and then the Glock was pretty good too, but now they're all competitive with each other, some better at certain things, others better at other things. So MP443 damage increased from 25 to 27, recoil increased, horizontal velocity increased, fire rate increased from 700 to 750, sound spread lower, draw speed increased, magazine size increased from 16 to 17, USP damage increased from 25 to 30, vertical recoil increased pretty considerably there, horizontal recoil increased just a little bit, velocity increased, fire rate increased from 500 to 650, so not only damage increased, but pretty considerable fire rate increase too, because USP was pretty bad. Sound spread lower, draw speed increase, and magazine size increased from 12 to 15. And then the Glock got a damage increase from 17 to 19, so it makes it a little bit better. Sound spread lowered, magazine size, draw speed increased, magazine size increased a little bit more. So magazine was a little bit low, but now it's a little bit better, so, and damage a little bit better too, so that's just how they go out across the board. Anyone's usable now. I was using the Glock because the Glock was really the best one out of the bunch, but now you can go with pretty much any one of them and still be successful depending on which one you prefer. Just Glock's more usable in full auto, but other guns are all competitive now too. They changed the heavy damage pistols as well. So the Unica, they added light damage, lowered the recoil, first shot lowered, reload speed increased, draw speed increased, but they increased the headshot multiplier on all of them to 1.5. It was 1.2 before, so this makes two of the guns a one-shot headshot against no armor. The Unica is still 2 shots, but if you can get headshots on both shots, it'll be a 2-shot kill across the board. So definitely want to go for the headshots with those. They're still pretty slow if you're hitting body shots, but if you're hitting the headshots, it's much faster, and then if they're damaged as well, it should do quite a bit of damage. So RSH-12 damage increased from 60 to 70, so that makes it a one-shot headshot now against no armor. Light damage increased from 5 to 30, that's quite a bit of light damage. Vertical recoil lowered, horizontal recoil increased, first shot kick lowered, velocity increased, accuracy increased, reload speed increased, draw speed increased, running speed increased, headshot multiplier. Yep. Desert Eagle was dropped quite a bit from 90 to 72, but with that 1.5 damage multiplier, 90 would have been way too much damage. So light damage was lowered from 40 to 30, horizontal recoil increased, first shot increased, velocity lowered, running speed increased, magazine size increased, accuracy lowered, draw speed increased, and the headshot. So this is just the new time to kill chart. So if you're hitting body shots, the RSH-12 and the Deagle are still pretty bad against higher armor, but as long as you're getting the headshots in there, it should be much faster. So definitely want to be going for those headshots, but if they are damaged already, you could still put them down with one shot. It's just if they're full health or full armor, you're gonna have a hard time there. And then let's see, so MP7 wasn't touched as far as damage or fire rate, but the fall off was adjusted on pretty much all of them. So fall off starts at 40 meters instead of 50, and fall off ends at 140 instead of 200. So hitting the minimum damage at 140 meters instead of 200, you're probably not going to be shooting that far with the MP7 anyway, but it is going to affect its ability to do really any damage beyond 140 meters. So drop off is going to be a little bit shorter on that, but not too much of a difference there, I don't think. The UMP 45 damage increase from 28 to 35, that's a huge increase. But the vertical recoil was increased. Horizontal recoil was increased quite a bit too. Fire rate was reduced from 700 to 650, and then damage drop off starts way sooner now. So 20 meters instead of 50, and then the fall off ends at 140 instead of 200. So you're losing about 30 meters of usability there, but you're gaining quite a bit of damage and kill potential there. So, but it was good because it was accurate. So I don't know if it's going to be that great now. So if you look at the time to kill charts, it's mid-tier now. So it was pretty bad at pretty much everything else. So it's really good against no armor, one of the fastest, but mid-tier pretty much everywhere else. So it's not going to be as laser beamy as it was before. Not going to be as good at longer range as well. So we'll see how it adds up. It's just going to be more of a mid-tier, but SMG is definitely not going to be very good at the longer ranges anymore because they nerfed all the damage fall-offs. So PP 2000 horizontal recoil was increased quite a bit. Damage fall-off from 50 to 20, another huge drop, and then 140 to 200. So 30 meters less of usability there. PP 19, 10 meters, not that big of a difference, but the long range, I mean, you're not going to be hitting shots at 200 meters with a PP 19 anyway, so it's going to be doing no damage. So 150 to 200 is not really a big deal. 10 meters, not big deal either. So Chris Vector, 200 to 150, damage fall off end, same thing there. You're not going to be hitting shots at 200. MP5 from 50 to 20, and from 200 to 140, so 30 meters less of usability there. I think the MP5 definitely needed that nerf because it was too good at longer range, so this should make it at least not as good. So you're losing 30 meters of damage potential there. So a little bit more in line with mid-range instead of long range. Honey Badger and drop from 200 to 150, not going to be hitting those. P90, same thing, losing 30 meters of damage there. I don't think that was really necessary, but at the same time, if they're nerfing them all across the board, it makes sense to be in line with the SMGs, because P90 kind of falls into more of like an SMG tier. It's like a M4 with 50 rounds, so dropping off that damage fall off makes it more in line, but it's just not going to be as good at those mid to long ranges. 30 meters lost there. Same for the Scorpion, and then the L86A1 damage reduced from 32 to 31, vertical recoil reduced, horizontal recoil reduced, velocity increase, reload speed increase, M249 ADS time reduced by 0.05 seconds, and then running speed increased by 0.025 seconds. Not noticeable there, but the L86A1 does change its damage ability. So when it had 32 damage before, adding either the long barrel or the heavy barrel made it a 3-shot kill against no armor. Now that's not possible anymore. So this used to be really fast, like 155, and then this was like the best all across the board. Now it's mid-tier against no armor, even running the heavy or the long barrel. So took away that 3-shot kill potential, but other than that, not really changed. But this is slower too against 125 for all the damage. So it used to be 232 across the board here. Now it's 310, so it's more mid-tier, unless you're using the heavy barrel or the damage, or the damage increasing long barrel. So yep, that's all the changes for the damage and the fire rates. So mixed it up quite a bit, but nothing really dramatic, I don't think, other than the pistols being usable now. But you're not going to be using them unless you run out of bullets anyway. So UMP 45 might be in there now. If you wanted to use the UMP 45 now would be a good time, because it's mid-tier now, but the recoil may not be a good draw anymore since they increased the recoil quite a bit. So it was a laser beam, not the fastest killing gun, but it was a laser beam. Now it's faster killing, but it's not as much of a laser beam. So we'll see how it stacks. It's probably just in the mix with everything else. Everything else should probably be around the same. But yeah, that's it for the update. Probably not going to really test out the guns too much because nothing really stands out to me as all that interesting. Hopefully they shake things up, add new guns or something to spice things up a bit, because unless they make dramatic changes to the weapons, it's not really going to affect things too much. But I don't know if they're going for that or not. But that's really the only reason that I would want to play again, is if they did make some major changes and mix things up quite a bit. Worth checking it out. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.